It's me, Super Mario Dude, and welcome to Is It Worth It? It's been some time since I've done one of these, huh? This is a series where I tell you if anything video game or anime related is worth your money and or your time. Today is a video game episode, and today I'll be reviewing Cyberpunk 2077, specifically the brand new version 1.5 update on the PS5. Let's get started.
So seize the day, then set it on fire.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Well, let's start with the pros first of Cyberpunk 2077. I think at this point everyone knows what Cyberpunk is. It's a game that released in 2020 for the PS4, Xbox One, and Steam, and was delayed numerous times since its initial, I guess, reveal in 2012. So, does it live up to the hype? And the fact is, no, it doesn't live up to the hype, because the hype made it sound like it was going to be God's saving grace. And I know you heard it a million times on many different other YouTube channels. You've seen this a billion, cajillion times, people criticizing the game. But it's been almost 2 whole years since the game first released. Many patches have come out, and heck, I've played most of the game on the brand new PS5 version. So I might as well just talk about it now, because trust me, this review is pretty somewhat-ish different from most others. Well, let's start with the pros first. Getting everything out of the way, come on. The story is amazing and the characters are phenomenal. Even at launch, I think everyone could agree on this. The characters are just so well animated. It is crazy to see these people just move, and the voice acting is also incredible. Again, this is trying to be a spoiler-free review. I don't want to say anything about the story or what it's about exactly, because really I think the more blind you are going into it, the better it just is. Now, top with the characters and the story, the graphics. At first, I think the graphics were a bit rough from what I've heard and from what I'm seeing, but from what I'm playing right now on the PS5 version, the next gen 4K 4K 60 FPS, it is actually incredible. The game has these interiors of the cars that are all modeled. The buildings are incredible just to look at from far away. Close up, it looks really good. Everything is just really good looking, from the lighting, how everything's so vibrant, and it's such just a different looking game. I can't really tell if a game really has ever looked like this, and I really don't think it has. Sure, something like Grand Theft Auto has come to the scope of like cities and whatnot, and Spider-Man maybe, but this is a futuristic city. So much is going on, and yet it runs I know this might sound ironic because, you know, you've heard the exact opposite on other people's channels by now, but because of the new updates and whatnot, it actually runs really well on PS5, which is kind of crazy. Everything about the city just feels so alive. I've seen that in the new version 1.5 update, they still, they updated the NPCs to act more realistically, and I gotta say, it kind of shows. Whenever you attack them, they're not as stupid anymore, they start to freak out more, or they just straight up attack you. Combat is, I like the combat a lot. It's kind of similar to like a Bethesda game, almost like Fallout. Almost, give mine, I said almost, please don't get mad at me. And I really enjoy this part of the game. A lot of the enemies are very diverse when it comes to both their weaknesses and their abilities. Some could do wacky stuff like teleport everywhere, and some could just kill you one shot, and it's just really funny, like ha 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 ha. All the guns you can obtain are so nice, and they're all very different. They all offer something different, although some of them are like really useless, like if you use them, like why, what the hell. You can also do something called quick hacks, where you're able to hack an enemy, and you know, you could just straight up manipulate their stats. You could do damage repeatedly to them, or you could even blind them for a few seconds, which could allow you to sneak up on them and just kill them instantly instead of having to deal with them. So it adds an extra layer to strategy for the battles. You could get all sorts of different mods to equip for this. And when you get implants, you could get something called implants in your arms and your legs. This gives you extra jumps, and even gives you something called mono wires or mantis blades, which you've probably seen in the trailers, which are kind of overpowered, honestly. Like, they're not even that much money, and they're like way overpowered, especially the mantis blades. It's just, wow. I really like the combat of this game and how expansive it could be. Now let's get on to the cons, the things that are kind of negative about the game. Even with all these patches, and even though I have very minimal experience with the bugs, I mean, there's still a few that happen every now and then. Sometimes NPCs will disappear their items that they're holding, so sometimes they'll be holding like a guitar or something, and sometimes it will float above their head, or sometimes characters will like float above a bike for a few seconds and then they'll teleport right on it. Very minor stuff, which I get it, but by now I feel like these should almost be like really hard to get since they've been fixed out. But hey, it's better than at launch, at least that's what it seems. Next is the side quests. A good majority of the side quests, although they're not tedious, they're not very interesting, or they're literally just get this box delivered to this one person, get money. And sure, you can argue this is a great way to get quick XP and money, but honestly, in my opinion, I favor over quality over quantity with these. That's not saying they're all bad, because some of them are like real bangers, but a huge chunk of these just feel copy and paste Ubisoft terrible missions, just not inspired. Like, take Yakuza Like a Dragon, for instance. Every single one of those quote-unquote sub-stories or side quests are phenomenal. Each one is so goofy or told a really interesting story, and yet there's only around 53 or so, but I didn't mind, because each one was so engaging and I didn't mind doing them. And I'd much prefer that over the copy and paste side quests. Now, I kid you not, these side quests could be really bad. Like, literally one of them was me driving a dude with a grenade in his nose so he could go kill someone. Like, literally I drove him a few feet, he got out of the car, he killed someone, and that was literally the whole side quest, and I got like 1,000 for it. And sure, like I said, I mean, it gets you money, but is it really worth it? It's just sort of not that fun. It's not really a good side quest, not like a side adventure. It just feels kind of silly. The biggest con I have with the game right now is the range of options you could do in the actual game. And what I mean by this is that, well, okay. In the trailers, I know, everyone brought this up. In the trailers, even at launch, for God's sakes, they made it sound like this was your world and you could do anything in it.
Why do you come here? For fun? For power? Looking for a shock to the system? Yeah.
Duh.
Because before they put a bullet in you, you'll make this whole city burn.
Essentially, it sounded like this was your world. Everyone was living in it. You shape everything. You shape the story. You do everything in it. And although Cyberpunk is a good open world game, it does, like, I think it's better than a lot of open world games. It's you know, good with its freedoms and what you can do now. It's still not quite there. Like, it's missing an oomph, if you know what I mean. It's not quite at that huge open world experience. Although it is open world, it's just not as... You can't really choose your own path in the stories as much as you think. A lot of times, things in the game just sort of happen that make me say, really, that's it? Like, this is all I can do about this? Like, I can't do this or that? Like, for example, the whole romance option in this game should just be completely reworked or something, because literally all you do is you have to complete these special side quests with the characters. Okay, so far so good. Then for the last quest, you either kiss them or get down and dirty with them, and that's about it. That's literally it for the romances, or just about. It never really feels like I'm quote-unquote romancing these characters. It doesn't feel like I'm in a relationship with them. It feels like I had sex with them once and that's it, but it doesn't feel anything. And sure, the new update added text messages where they apparently send nudes. I romance Panam, and now the only thing I could do when I see her is I can maybe hug her, and when I sleep at the Badlands camp, she'll sleep with me. And that's literally it. Why can't they also fight alongside you if you want to? Why can't you just take them on dates and it changes something about the game? Why not have more than 3 conversations and the same 3 ones that you get for all of eternity, like I'm in hell? Hell, why can't you even marry these characters and move in with them or something like that? I get that V, the main character, is a mercenary, sorry, and you're not supposed to, you know, like, settle down, you know, you're this tough guy who's always outgoing, whatever, right? But if this really is your world, why can't you have that option? I feel like this isn't that hard of a thing to implement. And yeah, sure, it sounds kind of weird that I'm talking a lot about the romance. I swear, guys, I have a life. Please, guys. But it's not just the romance stuff in this game. That's like a lot of parts of this game where you're just like, can't I do more? Even a game like Persona, once you romance them, you could take them out on romantic dates. Okay, I'm sorry. I get off the romance stuff. Okay, I'm sorry. Cyberpunk just misses the little things like that I really would appreciate if I had, because I think it would really push it to make it a really good game. And I think that's what's holding it back from its full potential. As an open world game, it's really good. If I'm looking for an open world, next gen, top of the line, new genre defining open world title, this really isn't one of them. Like, sure, it uses the next gen capabilities pretty well, but it doesn't feel like it's pushing the genre forward. I mean, exclude the animations and the graphics, because come on, those are actually like next gen. Then yeah, this game finally, it sort of feels a bit like it should have came out in like 2012 or something. If I wanted an open world game that defined the genre, I would have played The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which came out years ago on significantly less powerful hardware. Like, Breath of the Wild, that felt like your world. You could literally do anything in that, and you could toy around with mechanics in the game so much. People today are still finding things with Breath of the Wild. Still, new secrets and even techniques, but Cyberpunk? Well, it feels like everything has been discovered and there's not much left. It feels like there's a limit, which is something in my opinion open world games should try to avoid the most. Now let's get this a bit to the lighter side, okay? I kind of went on a tangent for a while. Cyberpunk visually is a breathtaking game, with hints at what next-gen gaming could be. It has the ideas, but never fully executes them, but at the same time, by itself, it's still good in its own right. I think it just needed more time in the oven to expand its world. And now, with all of this out of the way, the question on everyone's mind, is Cyberpunk 2077 now worth it in the year 2022? I would say if you are a fan of open world games or want to explore a futuristic city or simply take in all of the animations and the great story, then yeah, it is. I'd say this game is worth like $50 or $40. However, on the PS5, I legitimately got this game for like $8 physically, which is a mega steal. Like if you find that for this game for that much, yeah, you should definitely buy it no matter what. But yeah, if I had to give Cyberpunk 2077 a score, I think it would be around a 7.5 out of 10. I would like to state that on my scale, that is very good. A 5 is the middle of a road, average, decent product. Everything below that is bad and everything above is good. So 7 is like a really good product with its ups and downs, but maybe you could see yourself become a fan or recommend it to someone. And an 8 is basically just, well, a step up from that. It's excellent and you can recommend it to almost anyone. So I think Cyberpunk really lies between those two. I don't think it's quite at an 8, but I don't think it's quite a 7 either. I really enjoyed my time with Cyberpunk. I really did. And I think this is a good game. If you have your mind set that it's a bad game, you shouldn't buy it, well, I disagree. I think you should give it a spin if you enjoy open world games. I look forward to what CD Projekt Red goes with this game in the future, because I think it does have a bright future if they choose to update it. Alright, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this review, please subscribe and like, it's free, guys, come on. It helps the channel so much. Big stuff coming at 5K, so please watch out for that. Thank you all once again so much for watching. I'll catch you all next time. Goodbye.